Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's coming up on 4 a.m. on the East Coast. I I've had tough mornings over the last couple of mornings. I start researching this stuff about 2 a.m. when I wake up, and by the time I'm ready to make this video, I'm my anger level is at a raging point, and I have to actually sit here and calm down before I can make the video. This is the third time I've tried to make this video. All right, let me start first with Trump's push for hydroxychloroquine. Okay. There's a YouTube channel here. It's by a doctor. It's called Chabaru. It's hard to pronounce. I'm going to put the link down below. He's a doctor. It's a great channel. And every episode he talks about kind of odd situations where somebody ends up in the emergency room. Real life. These are all real situations that have happened, and people have ended up close to death in the emergency room. And he goes through it very medically, talking about explaining all the words, what they mean in the blood, the heart, and everything. It's a great channel. Again, or if you guys could look on my most liked or my liked videos, you'll find it on top. I'll make sure, because I've been having a hard time posting links lately. Chubmairu. It's the first letters are CHUBMYBRU, I think. It's a great channel. Check it out. But his latest one was about hydroxychloroquine and the incident in Arizona where these two people drank fish tank cleaner. What I want to talk about now, I've been debating all day yesterday about making this video. I'm torn between personal, what I can talk about and what I can't talk about people close to me, and what I feel necessary to tell what I know. Okay, a person close to me has lupus, very close to me in my family, has had it for over 5 years, and takes this drug. I've seen the side effects. The side effects are brutal. What I've seen, then I see Trump on TV saying, "Take the drug. What do you have to lose?" And what enraged me this morning is it sounds like he's actually saying to take it as a preventative measure. If you don't even have any symptoms, take this drug. And what I've seen this do to a person I love, this drug, I have to make this video. The obvious things, her hair all fell out. She couldn't use her hands because their skin blistered, and I can't even describe to you, I don't know how to put it to words. The skin almost like sloughed off. It loosened up. Heart problems, vision problems. I wouldn't take this drug if you put a gun to my head after what I've seen. That's my experience with it. From seeing somebody I love taking this drug. I knew nothing of this drug until just recently. I didn't even know that's what she had taken, that was causing all these reactions. And if you look on WebMD or anything like that and look at the side effects, I know a lot of times when you look at any drug, there's a whole list of side effects, and it's not really very good at telling you what the percentages are that these are going to occur. I've seen these side effects firsthand. I think they're very prevalent with this drug, meaning I think it happens to a lot of people. So when I see Donald Trump on TV saying, "Take the drug, what do you have to lose?" I almost lose my mind. Personally, I wouldn't take this drug if you put a gun to my head. If I was in a hospital bed on a respirator with COVID-19, I would not take this drug. That's all I got to say about that. Some of the other stuff I've seen, there's the incident with the Navy, with the Navy Secretary now resigning after calling the captain, who I believe is a hero, for saving his men, after then sending a recording to the Theodore Roosevelt a recording that was played over the intercom calling the captain, their captain, who they love, who they have ultimate respect and it would do anything for. The Navy secretary calls him naive and stupid, I think. And in a couple articles I was reading, it says he did this because he was trying to impress Trump. So what we have here is different sections of the Navy, of the Army, Marines, people overseas, our forces overseas, that are concerned about this tyrant in Washington and how they should act and how they should conduct themselves. And that scares the hell out of me. Another thing I was reading about a book that's coming out that Trump supportedly ordered the families of servicemen in Seoul to be evacuated. I'm not sure which year. This is a book that's going to be coming out. That means he had to be awfully close to a nuclear option with North Korea. The fact that this man keeps just babbling and switching and back and forth, then blaming the World Health Organization now. Yesterday he said he was going to cut off funding for the World Health Organization in the middle of a pandemic because he feels that for some reason that the World Health Organization is letting China off too easy. And of course, not having thought this through, it was brought up by a reporter. Well, do you think it's a good idea to cut off funding to the World Health Organization in the middle of a pandemic? Trump kind of backed up and with his usual, well, we'll see. We'll see about that. To me, I get more nervous every day because it appears to me that he seems, on one hand, he seems to be reaching out for power grabs and getting rid of any dissenting opinions whatsoever across the government, and consolidating his power, and then getting rid of more regulations as far as pollution and just the EPA, stuff that has nothing to do with coronavirus. Trying to deny, as usual, his responsibility. Again, I think of Harry S. Truman, and the buck stops here. And then I think of what we have in the White House right now, the complete opposite. A man who never has and will never accept responsibility for anything, will never acknowledge one mistake. I get more nervous every day. I see a man that's reaching for power and is just becoming more erratic every day. And it makes me nervous. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about, and this isn't anything I've seen on the news, but I have a feeling about China and this pandemic. And I feel as if though we might not have even seen the worst of everything as far as what this year could deliver. I think that tensions between us and China could elevate to a dangerous level by the end of this year. Once the threat of the pandemic wears off, I believe that there's going to be, especially from the Trump administration, there's going to be a huge urge to point fingers, to assign blame. And I believe Trump supporters, people that back Trump, will just eat this up. The whole, like Steve Bannon, blaming the Communist Party and all this other stuff. And, I mean, I think intelligent people don't see it that way. It was a pandemic, and the way that I understand the way that this virus came about, it doesn't sound like it was any malicious intent at all in this. But knowing Trump and his supporters, I can't help but get this very scared feeling that when this pandemic starts to end and the final death tally starts, or the end of the death tally starts to be revealed, and the damage to the country, people are going to want to assign blame, especially Trump supporters. Like I've spoken in other videos, I feel like they're very good at judging what other people should have, and why it's somebody's fault, and always looking at their neighbors for excuses and reasons as to why their life is so terrible, why they're so angry. And it just, every day I see it as less of a possibility and more of an imminent coming situation between us and China. And I think a lot of Trump supporters don't understand the magnitude of China, that they are a superpower. I think Trump supporters always just assume that America is so great and everybody else is a shithole country and we could just throw some missiles at them and they'll run away. And that's not the case with China. That's not what would happen. World War III would break out. And I get this, I can't help but get this scared feeling that the worst might be yet to come after this pandemic. I didn't know how to talk about all this, and this is why I didn't make a video yesterday. So I know this is coming out a little rambling. I wanted to talk about my concerns as they're getting worse each day, especially with this drug, hydroxychloroquine, and this gut feeling with China that I have are just a couple of things that I felt the need to make a video, but especially with the China thing either too. I had I really don't have a basis other than a gut feeling and an instinct for the way Trump and his supporters work. But I could see that as a definite, when everything is added up at the end of this, and we see the damage to the country, there's definitely going to be a push from Trump and his supporters to assign blame outside the country. I'm sure of this. And with every passing day, I get more and more worried about this. I only pray that we could, that we will be able to vote in November and get another president in the White House and try to avoid what could be an even worse year or an even worse 2021. All right, you guys have a good Wednesday. Stay healthy.